Hi friends, and welcome to the intermediate workout. This is the more advanced version of some of the exercises that you saw in the beginner workout if you happen to watch that one first. But otherwise, this is great for someone that's trying to advance past the beginner exercises. Harley's over here on my right. He might show face in just a little bit. But these are the ones that are going to advance from that beginner version, or if you're someone that's already done some of those other exercises in the beginner version in the past and you know that you're good on those, then this is a way to just advance those a bit further. But the ideal circuit is the same. You have 5 exercises. You're going to try to complete as many reps as you can before you start to feel that form breaking down. We're really trying to elicit that muscle growth, that lean muscle growth, and promote some strength so that you can make those daily activities feel a little bit easier. So let's take it back and see what those 5 exercises are. Exercise number 1 is going to be a reverse lunge. So I'll show you and then I'll tell you a little bit more about what you're looking for. So you're going to alternate legs. You're gonna step back, come all the way down, switch legs, step down, and come back up. You're completing as many as you can before you start to feel that form break down or you lose some of that balance and stability. The main points here, when I step it back, I'm stepping out at about shoulder distance. My hips are square forward and I'm coming down to 90-degree angles. My knee is hovering just off the floor. You can tap if you choose to, but you want to make sure that you're not smacking that knee on the ground. And then when you come back down, you're also making sure that that knee is pressed out. You're not allowing that knee to cave in. So as many as you can. The next one, instead of the glute bridge with both legs together, this time we're going to separate it into each single leg at a time. Same setup, you're gonna lay down on the floor and you're gonna make sure that you can't fit those fingers underneath your low back. So roll that low back into the floor. And then from here, whichever leg you choose to start on, you can either complete all reps with your weakest side and then make sure that you match that amount of reps on your stronger side, or you can alternate until you start to feel that form break down here as well. So ideally what you're gonna do is one heel is going to be planted. Your heels are pretty close to your butt. You're gonna lift up one leg, and then from here you're gonna drive into that heel on the floor, lift the hips up into a nice straight line from the shoulders all the way down to the knee, lower down. So completing all of those reps until you start to feel your form break down, and then you'll switch and go to the other leg, or just alternate every other rep until the form breaks down. The next one is going to be a full push-up. If you watched the beginner version, you saw that I described a lot of people do push-ups like this, where their elbows come straight out to the sides. This can put the shoulder in a damaging position, and ideally you have a lot more power when you push like this, and you notice that those elbows are at about 45-degree angles out from the side of the body. That's what we're looking for in the push-up. So from here, you're gonna set up in your full plank position, nice straight line from your shoulders all the way down to your heels, and then from here, your spine is neutral, your hips aren't arching down to the ground, you're not arching up here, but you want a nice flat space, and you want your shoulders to be stacked over your wrists. At the bottom, we're gonna try to get all the way down to tap the chest. If you notice that you aren't able to get all the way down to the floor, you're more than welcome to elevate this push-up onto something like a bench, because that then is going to allow you to get that full range of motion and elicit the most muscle strength in each of those movements. So from here, just gonna show you the push-up. So you're gonna come down, elbows are tucked, press back up. So complete as many exercises as you can before that form starts to break down. The next one, we're gonna take a single leg deadlift. Very similarly to the good morning that we saw in the beginner version. You're also going to have a hip hinge movement here, but we're then using just one leg at a time. Feel free, if you need to, you can have something next to you like a chair or a table or something to hold on to, maybe a wall, depending on where you're exercising. But ideally here, you're trying to get a full range of motion. So from here, I'll show you what I'm gonna do is place all contact points on the floor. My weight is shifted back slightly into my heel. I'm gonna lower down and kick that back leg out, lowering down to about mid-shin, because that's where I feel the most stretch in the hamstring and the glutes. So from here, you're gonna lower down until you feel that stretch in the leg, come back. If you watch me from the front here, you'll notice that I'm trying to keep my hips square with the floor in front of me. So I'm coming down and back up. If you have the mobility, you wanna come all the way down to the ground and tap, you can do that too. Complete all the reps on the weaker side, then switch to the stronger side. Match the same amount of reps just to make sure that you're equated for strength on both sides of the body. And the last exercise is going to be an inverted row. Depending on what you have access to, this one might be a little bit more challenging. You can also change to a pull-up here. If you have a pull-up bar, maybe an assisted with a band or something. But the inverted row you can typically do off a table, or what I really like to do sometimes, and especially when I didn't have access to a gym, I would just set up 2 chairs, and then I would put a broomstick across the 2 chairs, make sure it's nice and sturdy so it will support you, and then I did the rows from there. The rows are also very similar to the push-up position because your elbows are gonna kind of come in those 45 degrees angles. You don't wanna be rowing kind of directly out to the sides here, but I'm gonna demonstrate what this looks like and how you can change it to match your strength level. You can manipulate the height here if you have access to it, but this is probably pretty close to a chair, or maybe this is a little bit higher than a chair, maybe a table, but let's go ahead and show you what this looks like. So in the full position, you're gonna come down at the bottom. Your hands are gonna be a little wider than shoulder width apart. I'm actually going to come into more of a tabletop position here because that's where my strength is. And then at the bottom, I'm just gonna hang here, and then I'm gonna drive that chest up to the bar, lower down until my arms are fully extended, come up to the bar, lower down until my arms are fully extended. The closer your feet are to your body, the easier this exercise is actually going to be. So with all of these, if you have any more questions, or you're trying to fit some of these things in, or if you find that you have any mobility issues, any injuries that you do have to work around for any of these movements, I'm happy to answer any of your questions from there. But overall, I hope that these exercises help you and they start to make you feel nice and strong. I'll see you soon.